BattleBit Remastered, a game made by 3 people. That's right, 3 people just gave the biggest FU middle finger, fine, I'll do it myself moment in the history of video games. BattleBit Remastered is the Battlefield game that Battlefield fans have yearned for and have deserved for years. Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 2042, none of these games can touch BattleBit Remastered. This game has more concurrent players than those 3 games combined. Yes, BattleBit Remastered looks like a Roblox game. Yes, it sounds like a Roblox game. And if graphics is all you care about, then by all means, go play the shallow Battlefield games that pale in comparison to this game. Because as we all know, as real gamers know, gameplay is king. And I will gladly sacrifice visuals for gameplay. And that is what BattleBit Remastered has done. The game does look like Roblox, and it may put some people off, but I'm telling you right now, if you're a Battlefield fan, if you're on PC, and you're not playing this game, you are doing yourself a disservice. So let's get this elephant out of the way. The game, yes, it looks like Roblox, sounds like Roblox, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And it's not a bad thing for a few reasons. Number 1, this game will run on a toaster. Number 2, the game has quick load times. And number 3, because the game looks the way it does, the file size for the full installation is a little over 2 gigabytes. Yeah, that's not a lot of room to take up for a fantastic game. To put things into perspective, when you get into the game's main menu, you will find that the game has various modes, a server browser, 20 maps, both with a day and night cycle, and a whole slew of options right out of the box. Right out of for $15 US, that's what you get. Oh, and did I mention that the game handles 254 player servers? Yeah, 254 players. Let that sink in. The game itself, as for everything else, the game is fantastic. You have your prototypical Battlefield class setup. You have 6 classes, each with their own unique skills and equipment pieces, much like the old Battlefield 2, 3, 4, Bad Company 2, etc. have. Teamwork is a must in this game. And they have taken the Battlefield formula and modernized it and gave this game a few things that Battlefield games just do not have. First and foremost, every time you fire up this game and you go into a lobby, you will be prompted with a screen that tells you the server rules and tells you that friendly banter is permitted. And this is great because this game has proximity chat, which allows for some few funny interactions with players on the opposing team. Here, see for yourself.
No, you bitch! Fuck you!
Man, I love proximity chat. But as I said, that is a huge part of the game. And that's not the only feature that BattleBit has been added. Also, there's things like, for example, you can lean in BattleBit. You can't lean in Battlefield, but you can lean in BattleBit, which is, again, a new feature. Another new feature that was added that was actually supposed to be in Battlefield 5 but was cut is the ability to drag your teammates and revive them when they are killed. This is something that was originally planned for Battlefield 5, but it's just not there, but it's in BattleBit. And then you'll also have the ability to stop yourself from bleeding, because when you do take significant damage, you get bleed damage, and therefore you need to bandage yourself up in order to prevent yourself from dying out. Another thing that they added is actual magazines. Now, in normal games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, you have an ammo count, and that's just your ammo count. You reload as you see fit. In BattleBit, you actually have a limited number of magazines. And suppose you have 2 magazines at like half ammo capacity, you can then combine them, consolidate them, and have 1 full magazine instead of 2 half magazines. These are all like little tweaks and nuances that are added to the game to give BattleBit its own identity. And all of this is great because the shooting mechanics is fantastic. Whether you're using an AR, an SMG, or a sniper rifle, the shooting mechanics in this game is on point. On top of this, you also have your vehicle warfare. You do have tanks, you have armored vehicles, you have helicopters. Everything that you want in Battlefield is here. It just looks like Roblox. But this is a game that was made by 3 people. And one of the things that I like about the developers here is that they even went against their own creative vision because of what the community said. The reason why this game is called BattleBit Remastered is because the original vision was a little bit different than what we got in launch. The original vision was supposed to be more simulated, more realistic. But when they were doing their playtests and they had their small community, the people preferred more of the arcade style. And much to the dismay of the lead, they decided, you know what? Even though it's not what I want, I'm going to do what's best and listen to the community. And that's always something that's important when it comes to supporting developers. Developers that actually take their community feedback and act on them. That's what you need, and that's what's always good to hear as someone who plays the game. When you go into your customization and how you customize your loadouts, every gun, much like Battlefield, has different attachments, and the attachments provide different effects for the guns. This is great, but as opposed to other games, most of the unlocks are streamlined. You unlock guns just by simply leveling up and playing the game. However, if you want to unlock specific attachments for a specific gun, you then need to use, well, that specific gun. I mentioned earlier in the video about day and night variations of the map. They're not just cosmetic variations. The night versions of the map actually have gameplay implications. Because you're on night, you have the option of equipping your night vision goggles. However, if you equip night vision goggles, you cannot use medium and long range scopes because obviously you have that thing, the headpiece on your head, so you can't use them. Therefore, when using the night maps, it is critical that for your gun of choice, you would have night vision scope attachment. Because if you don't, you would either have to use a short range scope or the optic in order to use an optic, or take off the night vision goggles and use it without it. But obviously, when you take night vision goggles off, it is incredibly dark and it can be difficult to find where enemies are, unless it's a sniper where they have the flint and it shows you exactly where they are. So there is a nice twist. So yes, they do have 20 maps, but they also have night variations, which really spice up the gameplay. This game, I've synced a bunch of hours into it. I'm still playing it, still loving it, but the game is not quite perfect. There was a couple of issues that I had with BattleBit Remastered. The first and probably the biggest, most prevalent issue I have is when you die in this game, it doesn't show you where the enemy is. Yes, the camera will pan in the vicinity direction of where you got killed from, but it doesn't actually do a good job of highlighting the enemy because oftentimes you can die and next thing you know, the camera's just looking at a wall. And then your teammate will revive you only to die again, just because you don't know where it is. I would much prefer that they adopt the Battlefield formula in the sense of when you die, you actually highlight where the enemy is. Because in my opinion, when you do that, it alleviates the frustration of just dying and be like, well, where did I die from? What did I die? I'm behind a wall. What killed me? You know, and it helps alleviate that frustration, especially when you're getting revived only to die again. The other issue is that I have comes in the form of the game's balance. There are some weapons that are more powerful than others. There's also some classes that are more powerful than others, which the developer has already come out and said that they are working on to addressing it. But at the same time, they recognize that there will always be a quote-unquote meta in these kinds of games. Lastly, the minor issue I had, and again, this is fixable, is you can't adjust your loadout in the main menu. You must be in a match in order to do so. That's kind of a little frustrating, as sometimes before I go into the game, if I want to experiment with something, I like to do it before I queue up into the lobby and not after. But it's a little nitpick on my end, but it's also very, very fixable. Overall, this game to me runs very, very well, not just in terms of the game's performance, as you would expect, but in terms of bugs and glitches. I haven't really experienced any bugs, any glitches that seemed apparent to me. Like the game ran really, really well in terms of its overall polish. Again, this is made by 3 people. And this is the truest Battlefield experience. You have 254 players. You have up to squads, I believe up to 8 players in a squad. And in a squad, there can only be one squad leader. That squad leader has the ability to issue commands and say, hey, let's attack this objective, let's attack that objective. And every class, like I said, has their own skills. For example, the medic is the only one that can self-heal, while the assault class has a reload speed buff in comparison to other classes. So there is some differences in the classes. We're not talking skills like Battlefield 2042 skills. We're just talking more in line of buffs. Like the support class actually has heavier armor, but they move slower. So it's really that kind of thing, and not in the form of, hey, this class has this ability. No, that comes in the form of equipment. Engineers have rocket launchers. Support has the ammo packs. Medics has the health packs, etc. Kind of like the traditional Battlefield formula. So if you are on PC, you should not be playing Battlefield. You should be playing BattleBit Remastered. And if you want to play Battlefield because BattleBit's graphics are Roblox graphics, well then I'm here to break it to you, but you're part of the problem with why games keep looking better and better, but keep getting more and more shallow at the same time. Because they have to spend more time making the game look all shiny and less time on actually making the game play really, really good. I'm of the latter. I would rather have a game look like BattleBit, but play amazing. Because that, to me, is what makes the game have longevity. Overall, I'm loving my time with BattleBit Remastered. And currently, I don't think I'll ever play Battlefield ever again. I'd rather just play this every single time. I recommend this game to anyone, and I mean anyone. It's just a blast to play. In my opinion, this is one of the best shooters to come out this year, and I'm giving BattleBit Remastered a 9.5 out of 10. This is Veteran Gamer, and I hope to see you guys next time.